So today, we're going to talk about how to focus yourself into alignment in relationship to whatever it is that you want to talk about. There is nothing off limits. We're happy to visit with you about whatever you want. You're going to notice a really nice unfolding, because sometimes people will do a better job of asking the question that is important to you than you could. Sometimes, if you're not sitting here in the hot seat, you'll be in a better place of receiving than if you were sitting right here. Because sometimes when you've asked the question and the question is really active within you, you can't hear the answer very well because the question is so active within you. You know, the frequency of a question and the frequency of its answer are different. Just like the frequency of a problem and the frequency of a solution are different. So this is going to be a merging, blending, uplifting experience. And when you leave here today, it is our promise to you, you will be in a different vibrational frequency. The question is, can you maintain it? And the answer to that question really is, it doesn't matter if you can maintain it when you know how to achieve it. It doesn't matter that you hold yourself there, because naturally there are going to be things you want it that way, more step one experiences which cause you to clarify what you are wanting more and more. By the time this day has come to an end and you've had a chance to listen back or remember back to some of the feelings and things that we've discussed, it is our powerful desire that you will be in a place where you will no longer be reprimanding yourself for having negative experiences or for feeling negative emotion. Because within those experiences are more clarification that are responsible for the calling of more energy to you. So it is accurate to say that the contrast that you think that you do not want is the basis of the expansion which you do want. So if you can focus upon the expansion that is underway rather than the problem that is the reason for it, then you can make that jump faster. You know how when you're watching a child finding his way, he's just learning to walk and he falls down, you don't say, "Get up, you little dummy." You appreciate him trying to find his balance. So you never hear us say, "Get up, you little dummies." What you hear us say is, this is another experience that is helping you to define with greater clarity who you really are and what you really want. And it is our wish for you that you feel as wonderful as you can find a way to feel right now, so that you can sooner than later reap the benefit of this new desire that you have carved out. We want you to know that you are the reason for the expanding universe, that you are leading edge creators, and that we are all here focused with you upon your newest requests. And when you ask for something, we have the benefit of living it fully and holding the frequency of it. And if you will feel for that frequency, you will find us there reveling in, celebrating in your creation long before it manifests in your experience. Now we know for some of you that's just annoying. It's like we got to the party first. But the benefit of that is that we'll hold that frequency so that it is unmistakable to you. Because if you've expanded and you're not up to speed with your expansion, you'll feel the personal, self-inflicted, self-imposed diminishment of the expansion that you carved out for all of us, you see. And so, in some ways, unlike that school administrator instructing Esther's dear friend not to take that little child into a place that he could not right now experience fully. That's not the way we look at it. We say, express your fullest, most expanded beingness in every way you can. Because there are a lot of people who are having step one experiences in response to the benefit that they see others living. In other words, you are here for expansion. You knew when you came, you said, "I want to go forth because there is this basis of life experience that is the primary basis of our eternalness. And if I go into a physical body and I don a physical personality, I will then get to experience this basis of life, which is utter freedom. I will be able to focus and therefore vibrate and therefore attract as I choose, because there will be no one focusing for me. I will get to learn how to walk. I will get to learn how to find my balance. I will learn my point of focus. I will focus the basis of my life in my physical body. You said, you knew, would be freedom. And then you said, and joy will be my quest. Because as I am free to focus in this basis of freedom, in this basis of possibilities, as I focus there using my free will to choose, if I choose thoughts, no matter what the circumstances are that surround me, if I choose thoughts that are leaning in the direction of joy, and as I attune to that higher frequency that is present when I feel that joy, then expansion will be the result. But then you also said, actually, the basis is freedom, and expansion will be the result whether I choose joy or not. Because the expansion is received by the source within you, whether you go along with it or not. The joy factor is you getting in on the party that you created, you see. There is an order of the way things will unfold. It's a logical, sequential, I will understand it better if it flows in this way order. And so as you sit with your question, with what you're wanting to contribute, with what you're wanting to ask, and you hold yourself in a place of positive expectation that one way or another that question will be addressed and fully, so that you're not tense in your expectation, so that you're not uneasy when it seems to be taking too long with the person who has gone before. Sometimes your uneasiness keeps you from hearing the answer that we're giving to you through them, because everything that we just said is the way that it is. We know who you are and what you want to know, and we know how to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And so as you sit in an attitude of trusting expectation that this will be that uplifting, bridging dialogue that will help you to understand everything that is important to you, then once again, we will pronounce this. We can do it in advance because we can feel who you are. Not only those of you who are here in the room, but those of you who are out there around the world tuning in. And we don't for a minute ever want you to think that we don't think that the things that you are living, that the issues that you are contemplating, or the situations that you are standing in are not important, because every single one of them is. But we do want this gathering to be a sort of mental, if you want it to be for you, we can't do it for you, but we can intend it in terms of what we are offering. We would like it to be a sort of mental turning point where you decide you're going to start looking forward to what's coming with more enthusiasm as you detach more and more from anything negative about what is. Because you've been sifting through the data of life, and you've been launching these rockets of desire. Whenever you know what you don't want, you for a moment know what you do want, even though it's a vibration you haven't practiced, and even though it's a vibration you cannot sustain. You gave birth to it, and the larger part of you can sustain it and does. So when an idea comes to you, no matter how fleeting it is, the larger part of you holds that idea in vibrational frequency. It's like a beam of light that is forever held for you to tune yourself to. And if you care about the way you feel, then you're more likely to find yourself moving closer and closer to the frequency of it until it will breathe life into you in the same way that the rocket of desire that you launched breathed life into us. This conversation, this interaction, and this has been a conversation even though Esther's is the only voice you have heard. In other words, Esther is allowing us to demonstrate our vibrational knowledge through her voice. But you are demonstrating your vibrational knowledge through your thoughts. So we have been having a very valid, real, important conversation. Whether you are among the few hundred sitting in this room, or whether you are among those out in cyberland who are tuning in. This live broadcast, this worldwide live broadcast, the lives that you have been living, the contemplation that you've been offering, the words that you've just heard now, have caused an expansion of this universe, because this conversation has never been before until all of the universe. We don't come forth to express to you because your lives are broken and need to be fixed, because they aren't. We do not come forth because there is something that you are doing wrong that you need to correct in order to live the life in the way that you intended it to be. Nothing like that is going on. We come forth because you are the creator of your own reality, and most of you don't really know it and aren't really understanding how that is so. And until you get that life has caused you to ask for things that you're not a vibrational match to, and until you figure out how to now be a vibrational match for the things that you've been asking for, you can't complete the cycle of life thought by thought that you've been wanting. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing off limits. We call it the hot seat, but it really isn't all that hot. Don't worry about the way it unfolds. It is our promise to you it will be perfect. And we say happily for ourselves that every question that we've posed here today will be answered and demonstrated by the conversation that we now have. Your life experience is about to give life to all of these words that you have just heard. And oh boy, what's coming for you in the next days and weeks and months is going to amplify this new knowledge that you are gathering up in these words in this conversation. It's going to be a high-flying good next year. We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can define. But fortunately, we don't have to define it in words because we can define it with energy. It has been a powerful leading-edge conversation that we've experienced today. It is our desire that you leave this forum understanding these few things. These are the only things that you need to know to live happily ever after. Life is supposed to feel good to you. You are supposed to feel good in this moment. And the larger part of you does. And when you don't, you're just having your own little tantrum that you're not up to speed with who you really are. And it's a justified, valid tantrum. Because not being up to speed with who you are doesn't feel good. No matter how you are measuring your tantrum or your reason for it with the others in the scope of humanity. It doesn't matter. Your tantrum is legitimate. Next, you are the only one who can get over your tantrum. And the way you do it is by understanding how this all fits together. By understanding that you are the creator of your own reality. The most important thing that we want you to leave this gathering remembering is that we are all in this together. And that we are right here with you, flowing with you, offering you clarity about things that are important to you. And the better you feel, the more in harmony with that clarity you are. And last, we want you to know that there isn't anything that you're supposed to be doing. You can't get it wrong. You're not supposed to be doing something that you're not doing. There's not some list of things that you are responsible to accomplishing. It's just that you really intended this to be a wonderful time. It's like going on vacation and planning it to be really good, and when it doesn't turn out good, you say, something was really off about that. And that's as big as it gets. In other words, you're supposed to feel good, and when you do, everything is right in your world. And from our perspective, everything is right in the universe. There are a lot of people who are wanting to hold themselves and you to other standards. And when you stand in appreciation of them in their differences, and in appreciation of them coming into alignment in whatever way they do, your world will go better, and so will theirs. There's not one way of going about this. There are a lot of ways of going about this. And you didn't come to all want the same thing. You came to focus in different ways in order to add to the clarity of the whole. And so those people who differ in their beliefs or even in their intentions from you are really your best friend, because they cause you clarification. They cause all of us clarification. And they are part, as you are, an important part, a reason for the expansion of the universe. So be easy about this. If we could do one thing for you now, it would be, we would zap you so that you sort of forget about everything that we've talked about. Except that you're supposed to feel good and to go general. Because if you will begin to practice that process of being as general as you can until you show yourself deliberately and consciously that you can feel better just in going general. It's our promise to you that as soon as today, your grid will fill in with obvious things that you will be able to associate with the effort that you've made of going general. And then you're off and running. Be as specific as you can be and still feel good. There is great love here for you. We are eager about what's coming next. And we are present in your moments, peeking through your eyes, smelling through your nose, hearing through your ears, feeling through your skin, tasting through your tongue. You are the leading edge of all that is.